Hello and welcome to the feature showcase for Monni, hosted by Rockeye, Monni's slave. So we're just going to go over all different features. You can see the chapters down in the video below if you'd like to navigate. And we'll just go over everything. I'll explain how it all works. So if you haven't heard of Monni before, you'll get a good idea of what it does. And if you are interested in something that you saw maybe through one of our advertisements or through a friend, then this will explain how that works. Before we get into it, I'd like to say that we have a fully documented software, so if you go and navigate to our docs, you'll be able to see everything, all the different commands, different modules, how they work, etc. You'll also be able to look at our template engine and how the different variables work, and we have tons of guides. We also host our blogs here too. So what you want to do is you want to navigate to our website to begin with. A lot of people for some reason don't realize that Monni is configured from the website. You always configure Monni from the website, right? So you go to https://monni.fyi and you'll be presented with this page I'm on right now. You can go to the top right here, and I'm logged out or I'm logged in right now, but if you were to be here without using it before, it would have you logged out, and all you do is you press this and you log in. Discord might ask you to put your password and stuff, but I promise you that's Discord asking, it's not us. For a lot of people think we're a scam bot because of that too. We are verified on Discord, not a scam bot. But yeah, you just log in, and once your account is set, you'll be able to go to the dashboard here and your servers will pop up. So the ones that Monni's not in will be like this in grey, and the ones that he is in will be like highlighted like this. Now this is the test server that I'm going to use. We'll start off by explaining the economy, then we'll go into logging, then verification, roles, auto mod, moderation, and anti-bot stuff. But before we get into all of that, let me just show you the home page and settings page. So the home page allows you to go to our community server with this link here. I would highly recommend joining our community server. It allows you to get help with any bugs you might come across. You can communicate with people that might show you little systems that they've made with Monni. We're also very interactive with our community, so you'll be able to speak to us, recommend features, and so on, see blogs and updates. Highly recommend to join it. But yeah, let's get right into it. We'll go and start off with our economy system. So our economy is quite interesting. In fact, let me actually just get rid of all of the original things so that I can explain this in more detail. Alright, so our economy is a little bit more serious than the typical economy bots, which usually focus on like more fun entertainment stuff. Our points are designed to be integratable with like rank systems, clans, trading, and also linking up guilds to each other, which will be coming out shortly. We have a few other cross guild stuff, but we're not getting into that right now. We're getting into the economy stuff. So what you do is the first thing you want to do is build a currency system. So you make your point system, and all you do is you add a system here and name it. So what do you want your currency to be called? I'll call this Monni coin, and the alias is basically what will come up when you're making commands. So you'll make a command, select this system, and that command will have the alias of what you put in here, essentially. Alright, so we'll just call this Monni coins as well. Okay, you can also choose an emoji, and this can be custom, so you may have a special design for your currency. I'm just gonna do a little fish like a shark, and we'll add that, and that's very nice. So now we have this currency set up. You can make as many of these as you like, although once you hit 20 you will have to increase it, and that's paid. Okay, 20 is also very generous. I may even lower that, to be honest. Don't be complaining, it's quite high. But yeah, no, you probably won't need more than 1 or 3 of these. It's nice to have them. They can do different things, but once you build them, first thing you want to do is go to commands. So commands allow you to trade points, see how many points you have, or I guess we could say the currency. I usually just call them points. It also allows you to trade and see items, use items. Items I'll get into in a minute, but they basically allow you to use them to get like rolls and stuff. But yeah, you need to set the commands to the currency system that you have. So let's say I was to add a command right now. Let's say balance to see how many points I have. What I'd do is I'd name it, so check points, and I could name it check Monni points. Like, let's see, money coin checker. Actually, let's call it check money points. Okay, and you can make it so that either only administrators can use it, which is useful for some commands like maybe giving points to people, or everyone can use it, which I will do for this. And then all you do is select what system you want it to be attached to. So in my case, money coins, or money coin. For some reason it still has the initial thing saved, so I'll do a refresh. So refresh. There we go. And now what you'll be able to notice, I'll be able to say slash money or check money points. And if I put the member thing, I can select the exact person, which is me. But if you leave it blank, it'll just be you by default. And as you can see, I'll have 0 because we haven't done anything with them yet. But yeah, that allows you to check your points. We can also add a command to give points. There's 2 types. Sending points, which you probably will want to have for trading and stuff active for everybody. We'll take points from me, give them to somebody else. Okay? Point editing doesn't take points from me, but it just gives points to the other person. So it's something you'd want an admin to have, right? You can also take them away from the person. So I'll just call this admin grant. Right, admin grant money coin, right? Admin only, and we'll make it so it is money coin. There we go. Save. And now what you'll notice is I can say edit admin grant money coin, rock ahead 100, and then if we say slash check money points, we have 100 money coins. So that's how that works for basic setting up stuff. If you want to get the trade command, you can also use that. But just for a quick just review, these are the things that we offer at the moment. You can like see your history, inventories for items, we'll get into that in a little bit. Shop, which I'll add right now actually, since we're going on to shops, is essentially allows you to view shops. Actually, I can't add it yet because I need to make a shop. So what we'll do is we go to shops and we'll make one. And I'm going to call this the roll shop. And what it is, you basically, for each shop, you add products, right? And products can be, they're basically, when you buy them with coins, they do something, right? So they may give you a roll, they may change your nickname, they may give you some different type of currency or an item. In this scenario, we're going to use rolls. So I'll have, this one will be called green, and I'll just call it gives you green. And then we add the price. So in this case, we want it to be point based, not item based, money coins, and it'll cost, let's say 5 coins. And then all we have to do to make this work is use our little action editor, right? And I know it looks a little bit strange compared to just having the things that you select, but I promise you it's actually easier and much better to use. All you do is you go down here to actions, add an action, and all the little things pop up, right? In this case, we want to use give row to member, and we want to select green, which I already have set in the server. Another thing we can do, and this is where the action builder is so great, we can add a condition. So what we can do is we can say, let's say, if member has row, let's say red, give them green. So if they have red, they get green. Otherwise, they can't get it. We can also do a reverse condition, which means if they have red, they won't get green. Okay, now we won't use conditions for this since that gets into more advanced stuff, and this is more of a feature showcase and a tutorial. So we'll just go in with this, close this, add that, and save. Okay, I'm not going to add other products for the moment. We'll just have green since they all work the exact same. We go back to commands, okay, and we add a shop command. And what we do is I'll call this roll shop, okay. It'll be an everyone ability to bring it up, and we just select our shop, roll shop, add, save. So roll shop is selected to use money coins in the shop thing, and then the command is set to use the roll shop. And now all we do is we say slash roll shop, and it'll pop up, and the products are listed. So if you have a lot of products, you can switch pages. There is no other pages, so money will get mad at us. But then let's say we want this, right? It costs 5 coins. Right now we have 100 coins, as we can see up here. If we select the product, it'll ask us to type in the number of the product. So in this case, number 1. If I submit this, then it'll pop up again just to confirm if I'd like to purchase it. Now if I press purchase product, which I will, it'll say granted green. As you can see, my username just turned green. I gained the green role. And if we are to do a check of our points again, you'll notice we have 95 points. See? Because it just ate up 5 points. Now this is very useful once you set up methods for people to earn points. Or like for example, let's say you're a clan server. Perhaps you give manually to people for attending events a single point, and once they've attended 10 events they'll have 10 points, and 10 points allows them to buy a promotion, something like that. You could also just have it for engagement. Maybe it's a cosmetic role that you are allowing people to purchase and they gain points for being in voice chat or for speaking to people, for example. So it's a very nice little system. Now what I will do is I'll go over milestones. Milestones are quite similar to the shop actually. So while the shop allows you to buy things which do other things once you buy them, like giving you a role for example, milestones do things once you reach a certain amount of points. So they don't consume your points, but they trigger once you've reached a milestone of points, which is why we call them milestones. So what I'm gonna do is I'll call this red has been gained. It'll be based on money coins, it's already set, and we'll make it so that it needs to be 100 points for you to get actually I'll just call it red, for you to get the red roll. Alright, and then we'll add an action which will be give roll, and as you can see there's plenty of different actions. You can remove rolls, take points, you can do like bans and kicks even if you want to, and send messages. And what I'll do is I'll just say give roll, I'll say red once you reach 100 points, and I'll also send message to general, and I'll say member.name, which is a variable which you can learn how to use these in the docs. I won't go into them now though, but what this will do is essentially bring my name up, and I'll just say member.name has earned red. And then as a reverse action, which is what happens when I go below the requirement that I need to trigger the milestone, I'll remove the red roll. So remove red, and we'll also send a message into general. Member.name has lost red, sad face. Add, save, and now as you can see we have 95 coins. Don't have red. Oh, let me just get rid of green so you can see it pop up on my username. And what I'll do is I'll just edit my points. So we'll go edit, or actually what was it? It was admin grant, wasn't it? Yeah, admin grant money coin, and I'll just say rock ahead 5 points. So when I do this we'll get red, and Monni will send us a little message about it too. Okay, there you go. Monni said rock ahead has earned red, and as you can see I have the red roll. And now watch this, if I do that again and I say rock ahead minus 1 point, so we're below 100, the requirement was 100, my red roll will disappear, gone, and I lost red, Monni said. So yeah, milestones are really good, especially for stuff like events, because you can automatically have people rise up through ranks as you distribute points to them. So it's an extremely useful thing, and the idea originally came from our own faction server we used to run when we were a little bit younger. So highly recommend it, it's extremely useful. Now what I'll do is we'll cover sources. So sources are essentially a way for you to earn points, I guess semi-passively. Not like 100% passively, but there's a few different ways you can do it. So this one I'll say message earn, and it'll be related to money coins, yeah. But basically you can give points to people for like sending messages, inviting people, for being in a VC. Those are what exist at the moment. We do have plans for other things though. For messages we'll just say, okay, how many messages do you need to send in order to get a point? I'll just say 1 for now, although I'd probably recommend having this a bit higher. How many points do we want? We'll just give 1 as well. I'll just keep it as the default. Cooldown, I recommend setting it to 10 seconds to avoid spam, but I'll just set it to 1 for testing purposes. So 111 for testing purposes. Add that, save, and yeah, we have 99 coins at the moment. But watch, if I say hello world, then god, that was such a nerd thing to put, wasn't it, man? Holy crap. Okay, so if I put that there and I say money coin check, so check money coins, I'll have 100. Boom. Right, because I earned it when I typed. Okay, very useful. I recommend using those too. I will go over items next, but I want to cover boosts first. So boosts are very simple, extremely simple. I don't need to explain them in much detail. I'll just show the UI, how it works. So if you click on add boosts here, you can select a system that you want to boost, so money coins, set a multiplier like 1, 2, 3, 4, and what it will do is it will boost all income of points from any source, whether it's been given to them or they earned it or whatever, right? It'll multiply that. Now, the only two ways that we can allow the boost to be allowed to at the moment is if you have a role or if you are a nitro booster, right? But for roles, you can select down here, right? But yeah, I'm not going to add a boost, but that's how they work. We do have more plans for in the future how you can earn boosts as well. So let's cover items, the last thing. Items are kind of like, well, we have two versions. At the moment, only one is available since we haven't ported it from the old site. But we have consumable ones, which you can use them and then they're gone. And then we have passive ones, which is just like you have them, they work, and you can just keep them forever, right? How it works is it's kind of like a milestone. Once you earn it, it will trigger an action, and that'll just happen as long as you have the item, right? You can allow people to buy the items in shops. You can allow them to be traded, and it can be quite good for economy. Like you could have an item that allows you to have a special role, and people may trade the item for like currencies, or it can just be a nice little way to set up a little economy. They can also be used as like specialist currencies, but essentially we can just have an item. I'll call this give me yellow roll. Or actually, we'll just call it yellow. You can give it a little image with a URL, and I'll just say it gives you the yellow roll. It's consumable because we can't make it a passive one at the moment. And then we'll just set the action. So to do give roll yellow, and I'll use this as an opportunity to display how our message editor works. So if you click on this, this is the message that pops up once you are going to use the item. Well, we can change this here. We have our own little, you can use components v2 if you want it to be more complex. I'll just demonstrate this with standard though. I mean, I can change what he says, right? So at the top, I could have a little extra message above the embed, like this is a item embed. Don't use the item if you're scared, right? I don't know. You can add more sections, like another field. I could just say this field 2, this is field 2. Oh my god, field. Okay, and yeah, we can also have footer and basically everything you want. Images, extra buttons that do more things. Like for example, I could have a button that, let's say, if I add a button, make it red, not that one, this one, and then we can just have on this button, we can click on the button over here, and we can say if you press on this, we'll just say remove yellow. Okay, done, and we'll call the button throw in the trash. So now what I've done is basically you can use the item to get yellow, right? Which we've already set before, or you can press this to throw it in the trash, then you won't get yellow. Pretty cool. Press done, and let's press done again. Save. So now we have the yellow item. Now there's different ways you can earn the item: milestones, shop. But to make this easy, I'm just going to go to commands. I'm going to get the item edit command. Always have this as admin only unless you're a nut job. I'll call this item giver. Add that. Save. And what this will allow me to do is give items to people. Because we only have one item, it won't give us an ability to select. It'll just automatically give it. So if I say give item, or was it item give that I said? Item giver. To Rocco Ahead, I'll just say 1. And what will happen is, boom, I'll get the item. And now for me to see that, I need to make another command, which we will call inventory, and see items, and set it to everybody. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I'm the only one in the server, but this is just good practice. And I would say inventory, or see items. Once I press this, I'll be able to see what I have. And as you can see, I have one yellow item, which I've given to myself. Select it just like I select stuff in the shop. Press number 1 for item number 1. And there we go. If I want to, I can, let me actually just get rid of this so it's obvious to see it, right? If I press use item, the item will get consumed and I'll gain yellow, right? So watch. Boom. I've just gained yellow, okay? And now the item's used. I can't use it again, see? It's gone. Now, normally, that would be removed from my inventory. Because this is testing purposes, I'll be able to use it again. So I'll press select item again. 1. And it won't be consumed in this case because I'm doing testing with my juicy little fish. And if I press the throw in the trash button that I added, well, it's gone. Yellow is gone. Now, obviously, that could just be used if you didn't want to use the row and you just decided, oh, I don't like my item, you know. But yeah, super cool. And I'd say that's the economy covered, mostly. Yeah, we've covered the economy. That's how the economy works in basic form. So just quick little review. You make your currency, you can set up shops, which you can add items to that do actions when they're bought, like giving rolls, etc. You can do milestones, which are like the items in the shops, but trigger automatically when you reach a certain amount of points. You can automatically gain points with different sources, like sending messages or being in a VC. You can use items which act just like milestones and shop products and do things once you obtain them. You can boost people's income by giving them certain roles and giving them a boost attached to the role, or if they're a nitro booster, for example. And it can all be managed with different type of commands which you can attach to your currency. Seems great, right? Very simple. That's economy covered. Let's move on to our next module, which will be logging. So I currently have a bunch of these checked off already, but essentially how this works is very simple. It's just you click on these little check mark things, like these, and what will happen is whenever the thing that is associated with this happens, and you have a check mark, it will send an embedded log, basically. So you can choose the channel where it wants to, or choose the channel where you want it to go, and you can keep track of it. And this is extremely useful for, say, moderating a server, because let's say, like for example, I have, where is it? Message delete is active down here, right? And it's going to general. So if I say a slur, so let's say this was an evil slur, right? Now watch. Let's say I delete this, okay? Because that's active, Monni will send a boom. See, it'll send the message that I sent into a log, so moderators can see it, so I can't cover it up. Now, obviously, in a normal server, you would want this to be posted somewhere where people can't see it, except for like your moderators. But you can have this for everything. Like I also have it set for the voice chats, or the VCs, I mean. So if I click on this, it says I joined general. I can move myself to general 2. As you can see, that works as well. And if I leave, it'll pop up too. You can set all your like different log channels. It's very nice. It's extremely useful. If you're going to set up any serious community, you need to have logging in your server, because people are going to be abusing stuff, man. Even your moderators might try to like mess with people in VCs and stuff, and you kind of want to just see what's going on, you know? So it's good to just have it, but that's how it works. It's very simple. You can also set a default channel here, which means all these will be default by, well, default. And you can just select default channel and it'll just use the channel that's here if you want to be simple about it. Alright, let's get into roles, okay? Because roles are probably one of our coolest things. Before I do this, I need to delete everything on our older things so I can get this to work. Alright, so different roles. You've probably heard of these before. We do have I'd say we're probably top of our game at this point. We weren't before, but we've made some changes, especially to our reaction roles, which definitely give us an edge. But first I'll go over our chain roles and how those work. So chain roles, well, I mean, it does kind of tell you here, but essentially how it works is, let's say I give you red roll, we can make it so that automatically you get green at the same time, because it's chained. You get me? Now, why would you use something like this? Maybe a verification system. Maybe when someone's verified, you want to give them a noob rank for joining, or a member role, or something cosmetic, perhaps, right? They're very useful for those kind of scenarios. Let's say we have the initial role is yellow. We can say the chained role is red. Now, under normal circumstances, it would only give you red if you have yellow. But if you put directional chaining on, it happens both ways, which means if you get red, you'll get yellow. If you get yellow, you'll get red. So let's try that out. Save that. Go back to the test server. Right now we have nothing. So let's see, if I give myself yellow, I should get red. And there we go. It took a little minute there, but I was getting scared that it was broken. But you know, we have yellow and red. And now, if I was to get rid of both of these roles really quickly. Alright, now let's try if I give myself red, do I get yellow? And yes, I do. So as you can see, extremely useful, very nice. That's how chain roles work. Delete that. Now, join roles are something I cannot easily test without using an alt, but how it works is very simply, when someone joins the server, they get the role, right? So you might want them to get like a member role when they join, right? Very simple. Sticky roles, similar thing. If they leave the server, when they return, if they ever do, Monni will automatically give them back the roles that they had already, as long as they're considered sticky, right? So you have to add them here, the ones that you want to be sticky. Now, reaction roles is the cool thing. We have an entire thing for it, so we'll call this, I'd say, reaction roles, right? And we have a few different systems, okay? You can just have normal, which allows people to just choose all of them. Unique is you can only have one role at a time, which is give only means you can only get roles from it and you can't like remove them. Remove is, well, you can only remove them. And limit is you can set how many buttons they're allowed to press, essentially. But I like the normal for my niche. We also have whitelists and blacklist. So you can make it so only people with, say, the green role are allowed to interact with the reaction role embed. And as a blacklist, you can say only people with without the green role. So if they have the green role, they can't interact with it, right? It's very, very, the word I'm looking for is versatile. Now let's add a few, right? Let's say we have yellow, and we can give it a little label, like we can just call it yellow. And we can't make it yellow because Discord limits us with only a few different colors, but you can give it an emoji. So if you have custom emojis, you might have like a yellow dot or something. But I'll just have a blue thing. And then we'll have red. I can actually make that red. Actually, you know what? I'll make this green. We'll just go for 2 for the moment. Yeah, okay, that's very nice. And then what I'll do is we'll go into the message. So we can actually make our embed for our reaction roles. So what I'd want to do is add an embed. And then in the embed, we can just say reaction roles. Hello, goobers. Want some cosmetic roles? By Monni, the catfish. I know me. Here to give you some. Click the buttons below if you want a cosmetic role. I don't know what sound a catfish makes, so I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say anything. Right? Cool. We have these. Now all you do is you will send the role, but first I'm just gonna close this and save it. And now what should happen is when I send this, you can choose a channel for it to go to. Usually you'd want to send this somewhere where people don't speak, right? Because otherwise they're going to, well, yap over your message. But because they're testing, I'll just go into the general. And you can also change an existing message that like has existed already, but probably don't want to do that in most cases. Just delete the old thing, but it does have its uses. But yeah, send that and boom, it'll send. Close this, boom, message has been sent. And as you can see, it's over here. So now let me get rid of my roles. And yeah, I can just say green. And boom, I'm green. And then if I press it again, it's going to go away. See? And if I press red, it works too. I have red. I'm going to stick with red because I like red. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this. Actually, I'll just keep it. It doesn't affect anything. Now, let's get into cross guild stuff. Alright, this is premium and it's paid, but I will explain it because it's extremely cool and we have a lot of planned features for a cross guild. This allows you to essentially connect to another guild and link roles across guilds, right? So if I was to do this, go to cross guild settings, which is up here. How it works is we make a connection, right? So if I say new connection, I paste in the ID of a guild, which you can get by activating developer tools in the Discord settings. It's just a click of a button. It's very simple. Then you right click on your guild, you get the ID, and you paste it in here, right? You'll get a outgoing response. They'll receive it as an incoming request, and if they accept it and then send you one and you accept it, boom, you'll connect up. And then what you can do is you can give each other like special permissions. So do you want them to be able to read roles from your server? If they can do that, they can go down to the cross role stuff here, and what will happen is you can basically view the roles in their server. So then you can say if somebody in their server gets green role, then in your server they get red role. And this is extremely useful. Like, let's say you're doing affiliation stuff, you know, or diplomacy stuff, or you're just doing like cross cosmetic roles, or you want to link up perms or something. Maybe you own the two servers yourself. It's very useful. The logic for this was a pain in the ass. Glory to oofers. No one's gonna get that reference, but okay. Let's move on to our moderation tools. Our moderation tools are quite simple. But basically, you have a filter, which you can add words that people are allowed to type, but you can also add words that people are not allowed to type, right? So in this case, yes is filtered. Oh, excuse me. All right, so we have different modes. We can either censor it, which is just like it turns into like a bunch of little stars. Delete it, the message, replace it with a different word, and we can also just disable it. We can do actions, so mute them, warn them, time them out, kick or ban. We can whitelist certain words from the filter because there's like default things they're not allowed to say, like slurs. But we can also add our own ones in the blacklisted words. But yeah, you can also disable stuff too. Oh yeah, it won't work because I'm the guild owner. God. But if you're a normal member, right, if I was to say that, it would get deleted, right, and I'd get warned. So yeah, you can add like your custom things with a filter. It's very useful. You can also disable certain things and whitelist certain words from the thing. You can also just in general whitelist people to make them immune to all moderation over here, and make it so that certain channels aren't affected too. And you can also log all the moderation stuff to a specific channel, right? So in my case, I'll put general. Link spam is just, you can add links that you don't want people to spam. You can also just set the mode, like, do you want it to be no links are allowed, or do you want it so that only certain links that you add are allowed, right? We can also just do our actions like here again, and you can set like the time in which you punish them, like if they've doing like however many links in X amount of seconds. The system works the same for typical spam with messages, spam with mentions, spam with like files and images, spamming multiple times, like spamming and then spamming and then spamming, and so on. That's how that works. That's our auto moderation. And then normal moderation is just our commands, if you want them active or not, and what you want the commands to do. So this is basically just if you want to edit your commands, like how long do you want someone to be banned for, right? How long do you want someone to be timed out for? Should it require 2FA when someone uses it, you know, so they don't abuse it? Do you want the mute to be a hard mute, which removes roles from people while they're muted? Or do you want it to be sticky, so even if they leave, it stays? You have those as your options. We also have anti-bot stuff, which is a bit niche, but how it works is if you activate it, it attempts to stop your server getting nuked. So if Monni detects suspicious activity, like a bot that is spamming or deleting channels or something that is just kind of weird, it will ban the bot from your server and try to minimize the damage. It will also warn you and help you out, so you can basically choose the action that happens and save your ass. So that's a lot of the things in modules gone over, but we can also do verification. Also, did I even mention settings? That you can help us with our languages if you'd like to. We do localized voluntary stuff on Weblate, very helpful. Please do that, thank you. Anyway, verification is very simple. We plan on adding different types of verification, but for the moment we just have Roblox verification. But how it works is essentially you have a verified role, which is what they get once they link their account, and an unverified role is before they link their account. When they join your server, they get it. So typically you'd want the unverified role to have not really much access to the server, make it so they can't see different channels, and the verified role, they can see all sorts of channels, right? You can then make it like set their nickname too if you'd like. It uses the template engine. You have a few different things that you can choose from, but you can also edit it yourself. In this scenario, it gives them the Roblox display name and their ID. There's two ways to do the verification. You can either send an embed, so in this case, like I'll send it to general, and it'll send, or you can use the verify command, right? Also, yeah, if you use the verify command, you can, if you have previously verified accounts, you can just select them automatically. It'll be really quick. But yeah, if I verify right now, I can click on this. The privacy policy talks about how we use your data. By the way, we don't sell data. You can read it in the private policy, and we don't keep it for a long time either. We get rid of it. So we add an account, and you just type the name of your account, in this case Rocco Head. Then you choose how you want to verify. Authentication is the easiest. Roblox has like a login authentication sort of thing that it does, but we also have the join game thing if that bugs out. So I'll do the game thing because it's a bit of weirder. It needs a UI update. It's like one of the first things we added to Monni. But yeah, if I join this, what should happen is it'll say, is this you? Because it knows who I am based on the name and the ID matches, right? Load so I can show them. All right, there, is this me? Oh no, I'm banned, guys. God. And I can press yes, and then I've got verified. I have the verified role. Now, if I think I had that already, but if I hadn't had it, it would have given it to me. So, so yeah, so you understand how that works, right? Very simple. That's how verification works. So that's basically everything that we have on the website. But there's also commands you can use, like little commands. So we have, for example, our Discord who is. Gives you information on your Discord account, for example. I don't think I'll go over the commands too much for the feature showcase because it's something you can just kind of check for yourself. But we have like a lot of like little nice things. Like you can create invites with this, like invite create, reason I like invites. Then we can say max uses 2, max age 2 hours. Actually, I just have to put integers. I think it's done in minutes. Is it? Oh no, it's seconds. God, I have to change that. This is one of the older things, but yeah, you can just use this then in your link to do an invite. We have our moderation commands are all in here. Oh yeah, you can pet Monni. You can make reminders. Gotta pet him, bro. Oh yeah, Roblox info is also one you can use. So if you put the Roblox user, we'll get him. And you can find stuff about him like his friend data, load his friends. I'm not going to wait for that though. Tags for reminding yourself of stuff too. Timestamp tool is very useful. Basically just, let's say I want to in 1 hour, it'll just generate timestamps. I made that, it's a cool little tool. Oh yeah, this guy just turned 18 today. Finally I can get him into some slave labor. But yeah, no, that's Monni. I'd say that covers him pretty nicely. You can see more guides in our documentation. You can take a look at our other videos and blogs if you would like to see more information. I highly recommend looking at or joining our community server. But yeah, that's it. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that you found something of interest to you, or you were able to learn how to use something new. But that's Monni in a nutshell. Brief summary. Could we go into more detail in our tutorials, in our documentation? And if you need help, just join the community server and ask. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day, or night, or alien, time, space, astral plane, realm, void. Goodbye.